a Palestinian state must be established. And the only way to achieve this, I think, is to apply sanctions against Israel, against the leaders who oppose it, and against the settlers who are in the occupied territories in contravention of international law. Because Israel has a government that opposes the establishment of a Palestinian state. Instead, the Netanyahu government wants to continue and intensify illegal settlement in the territories that were meant for a Palestinian state. It doesn't care about imposing a cruel apartheid regime on the Palestinian population. It dismisses the costs of both sides for defending the settlements while fighting the Palestinian freedom fighter that Israel calls terrorists. The only recourse with such disastrous government is to ask other countries to bring pressure to bear, as they did in order to end apartheid in South Africa. In December 2016, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 2334, which states that territory cannot be acquired by force. It opposes settlement building, including so-called natural growth of settlements, and stipulates the dismantling of all settlements built since March 2001. Within the framework of the two democratic states living in peace side by side within recognized borders. The resolution also says that all Israeli settlement in the Palestinian territory conquered in 1967, including East Jerusalem, are illegal and constitute an obstacle to the two-state vision, and that no change to Israel's border will be recognized without Palestinian consent. The UK participated in this event and supported this decision. Subsequent Israeli governments completely ignored this resolution and acted as though it didn't exist. Not only did they continue building settlements, but the present government also supports the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from parts of the occupied territories. In a sense, what is taking place now in the occupied territories and in part of Gaza is a second Nakba of creating refugees, even people who lived in the occupied territories in Area C, and the people who live in the north part of Gaza. All of what Israel has been doing since this resolution was passed and is doing now even more severely, it goes against the UN Resolution 2334, and it is clear that Netanyahu wants to perpetuate the occupation and expand it to Gaza. 68 Israeli lawmakers voted against the establishment of a Palestinian state. But if we want to ensure Israel's survival and security, and also to help the normalization of the lives of the Palestinians, our neighbors, a Palestinian state must be established. And the only way to achieve this, I think, is to apply sanctions against Israel, against the leaders who oppose it, and against the settlers who are in the occupied territories in contravention of international law. This should be done in accordance with the rules of the UN Security Council, and every country can and should impose sanctions itself, like the UK did just recently. But you have to bear in mind, the sanctions that the UK made on elements in the occupied territories, people, settlements, organizations, are in a way useless because they get the backing of the Israeli government. And they act with the support of the Prime Minister, the Bezalel Smotrich, the head of the one party, and Itamar Ben-Gvir, the head of another right-wing party, and they actually support the Jewish terrorizing the Palestinians and sending them away from where they live. So, if international action, is to be taken against this incredible situation, which is against the law and against the decision of the Security Council, the address are the heads of the government.